cool is that about Kevin?
I would want to work with Kevin.
He's not working. He's been appointed for, I mean, he's super excited.
Good.
That's a big distinction, big honor. Protecting your ladder.
Checking the sound. Checking the sound. We are go live in 1 minute. 1 minute, wife. 1 minute. All right, everybody. 30 seconds. Will you sit down? You're not going to untangle the whole thing. Forgot my shirt. Sit down. All right, everybody. We have a new sounder that we're playing at 9 o'clock. She didn't like it. But right at 9 o'clock, we're going to play it. And I don't know if you can read the text box. If you're listening closely, you can try and identify all the voices in the sounder. And then if you're the first caller at 9:50, it is on now.
So is this a contest?
It's like a radio contest. If you're the first caller after you hear it.
The 1980s are calling your...
I always wanted to be a radio DJ when I grew up. Small fish in a big pond or whatever it was back then. Oh, it's 9 o'clock. We got to start the radio show. Stand by for live action. Are you ready, wife?
Big fish, little pond.
Bring your A game today, woman. Here we go.
Doing B+.
Good morning, Mr. and Mrs. America.
This is Beach Talk Radio.
Well, I'm the chief officer for the town, which basically means
that I'm in charge of all the day-to-day operations and take care of all our departments that provide services to the
residents and visitors here and businesses here at Fort Myers Beach.
You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words.
Okay.
Beach
The reputation of Lanakai
Talk
is holding back this island.
Radio.
What you say we get out of here? I was getting angrier and angrier at the town's response this summer about the lack of response, really.
That makes no sense.
Shut up.
How dare you?
One of the things that I found very disturbing that happened was
Beach
they called an emergency meeting
Talk
and fired the town manager.
Radio.
And I think it was done in a very
Deceitful way. I couldn't forget that angel face. Sitting here with my long insulated underwear on. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
Yeah.
The Fort Myers Beach Women's Club is not just for women.
I wear big fake boobs, so
You lost me somewhere.
The bird just stole my sandwich.
Shut up.
0.95 millage rate is a 12.3% tax increase.
How dare you?
I cannot approve this increase
You have stolen my dreams.
based on this projected forward need.
People are suffering,
We're in an excellent financial position, and I do not believe we should be doing this.
and all you can talk about is money and fairy tales of eternal economic growth.
yeah.
Live from Peach Time Out in the heart of Times Square. You're listening to Beach Talk
I know,
Radio
long.
with Kim and Ed Ryan.
Good Lord. At least I got top billing.
And welcome to episode number 81 of Beach Talk Radio. Ed Ryan and my trusty sidekick, Tonto Ryan, is with me again today on time.
You are so going to get it.
Unlike Wednesday's show, but more of that later. If you knew who all those voices were and you wrote them down, and you can call us at 9:50 and identify all the voices, be the first caller through to 239-247-3833, and you'll win your choice of a hat or a shirt. Just like the old radio days and only on to New York, wife.
So cheesy.
Yes, this is, we want to say hello to everyone listening on the Florida Podcast Network and everyone coming on down to the beach. Another beautiful day on the beach. 1 week before the big boat races. And we have another outstanding show in store for you today. And we're so happy that you're all watching on the Facebook and on the YouTube and listening on our app and on iHeartRadio and on blah, 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 everywhere you can listen to podcasts. Our first guest today.
And your birthday is right around the corner.
Yes, I'm going to be 54.
Wow.
Yes, still younger
How did
than you.
that happen?
54 on Thursday, the day before, the day the boat parade starts. The boat parade starts on Thursday. So our first guest, or we're going to have two guests because we're getting Carla Pine on the phone. Jackie is here from Hoosiers. How about a big hand for Jackie, everybody?
You didn't play
What?
your clapping.
I don't know which one it's on. I have all these buttons on here, but they're not identified, so I don't want to play the wrong one.
Just
What's that
press
one?
any button.
Okay. Oh, there you go.
Oh,
A drum
there you
roll,
go. A
please.
drum roll.
Jackie
There
can't
you
hear
go.
anything.
That's good.
All right, Jackie. How are things going with you?
Things are going well. We're getting ready to celebrate our 7th year on the beach and starting our 8th year in January. And we're introducing a new menu next week with all the chaos of Roar Offshore. We think it'll be exciting in the kitchen.
Awesome.
We're expanding our burgers, which we have the best burger on Fort Myers Beach. Hand spanked half-pound Angus burger, and we've expanded that section. Our chicken sandwich section has exploded. Salads. We have a new burger called the FMB Hangover Burger. It's going to have a fried egg, an onion ring, fried pickles, bacon, cheese, stacked high, and it'll cure what ails you.
Now, you guys are like specifically, I mean, you're open to everybody, but you kind of like if there's a place to go to watch the Chicago Bears games or, you know, if you have a team, your team is everybody Indiana.
Oh, yeah.
Why is that?
Well, we're from Indiana. 2 Hoosiers moved to Paradise. We're big supporters of the Big Ten. And, yeah, we're going to support all
What's
the
the Big Ten?
You don't know what the Big Ten is?
No, what's the Big Ten?
It's mainly the Indiana teams, and I think now we have Rutgers, and there's another East Coast team in it. The Big Ten Conference. You have SEC Conference.
Did you know what the Big Ten was?
I didn't.
Okay.
But
What?
you're Midwest, you know.
All right.
So we're everything about Indiana.
Is Bobby Knight still coaching the Indiana team?
No, he's not. He's
Okay.
retired.
Now, were you a Bobby
Lord.
Knight fan?
I was a huge
Even though
Bobby
he'd
Knight fan.
throw the chair across the room and beat kids up, and he did. He
But all
slapped
of
them
his
around.
kids graduated top of their class.
Yeah.
His first thing was pushing them to be good men and good students and succeed in the world.
I think
yeah,
that
he had some bad attitude.
that's
at
a
the end.
lost art, having coaches and teachers like that. I used to have
I think they go for the win now, not making them a good man.
right,
or a
and
young
everyone
woman.
gets a trophy and everyone gets a ribbon.
Well, and I think you just can't do some of the stuff that you used to be
I think
able
you
to
should be able to do
years
some
ago.
I
of
think
it.
a breakdown of the family. These kids don't have a lot of that
Right.
at home anymore.
A lot of them are living on the beach homeless right
Mhm.
now because their
Let's
parents
go back
didn't
to
beat
that.
their asses when they were younger. I used to have a gym teacher. I'll never forget his name. I think he's dead now. His name is Mr. Dunton. And I was a little fat kid and I couldn't get up the rope in the gym class. And he would just say, I'll never forget this. You need to push away that second plate of pasta, Chubby. And you know,
It stuck
he was
with me.
right. He was right. It stuck with me.
Male
That's
influence.
Something happens like
the
that now.
emotional
And
damage that's been
And now
done
you get up
to
at
you.
2:00 in the morning and you run 75 miles. So maybe that's a little excessive.
we forgot all about Carla. Carla, are you there?
I'm here.
Oh, there she is. She's on the phone.
No, I can't hear her.
Carla, did you have a gym teacher that whacked you around?
They didn't need to.
Oh, okay.
She's got me for that.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Carla Pine is on the phone. Carla is celebrating her 14th anniversary, right, Carla?
You betcha.
At the Salty Dog Gallery and Gifts. Could be the coolest place on the beach down there, Carla.
Oh, thank you. Between Hoosiers and Salty Dog, we got it covered.
Yeah. Now, where are you right now? You on a cruise or something?
I'm sitting on my lanai in Key Largo.
Oh, she has a
Nice.
lanai in Key Largo. Salty Dog doing quite well, huh?
Well, I
we-
ran by there this morning and they were all very busy.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Awesome.
Keep it that way.
So you're out there vacationing. Tell us about your 14th year, what you have planned.
We are going to, on tomorrow morning is our actual anniversary. And if you go to my Facebook page in the morning, you're going to see our celebration. We're going to be giving away gift certificates every Friday through the end of October.
Okay.
And then on the last day of October, we'll have another final gift certificate draw. And you can register through a link on our Facebook page tomorrow.
So the Facebook page is what?
Salty Dog Gallery and Gifts.
Okay, awesome. And the cool thing about her place over there is like there's really neat paintings all over the place. And Tell us about the painting classes that you have.
Well, we sell Dixie Belle chalk paint, and a lot of people need to learn how to use it. So I teach people how to repurpose their furniture. And Jackie is my poster child of success.
My whole house has been repurposed.
There.
Yeah,
I
so
know.
We do.
What are you waiting
We
for?
do all kinds of classes, and not just necessarily the chalk painting, but we do. I teach people how to do harlequins and checks and stripes and all kinds of fun things. And then sometimes we paint mermaids and mermaid lamps and just all different kinds of things that whatever I can come up with or whatever my customers want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And suggestions are always welcome. And then that helps me prepare for classes upcoming starting in November.
So
I should have come down there because I painted something at our house and I used the chalk paint.
Oh, bro.
But it looked better than it did. The piece of furniture was in pretty rough shape before it got painted. After it got painted, I think it was really too thick.
What are we talking about?
Really,
the
that
table.
by
Yeah.
the front.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, well, it looks a little bit better, but
I had never done it before and taken a few classes. I mean,
I have got to do that.
Take a class.
I know.
You wouldn't have ruined the
When
furniture.
are the classes?
It's fun.
I know. All right, Carla, when are the classes?
When are the classes?
Well, we're going to start posting them in November. I do have Tracy Bellion, back by popular demand, coming in March. We did a 2-day class with her last year and completely sold it out. So we have 2 more classes beginning in March, the first week of March. I think it's Tuesday and Wednesday. And then we have Nettie Price, who is our sparkling artist.
I love Nettie Price.
Oh, I love her. And
have you seen some of her pieces? They're stunning.
She is amazing.
Yes.
You can do a painting of your dog.
Yes, she
Have her
can.
do one of your dog.
Better yet, you can do one of your dogs.
No.
That's
Yeah,
how
you
good
can.
she is. Yes,
That's how good she is.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
And she's fun. She's a lot of fun. She drives around in her beautiful sparkling artmobile, and you'll see it on the beach. It's a big bread truck that she's completely repurposed.
Wow.
And brings it down from Pennsylvania, and she hangs with us most of the winter.
Has she?
So we
Did
have
she
several
paint
classes.
the truck?
She did. You ought to see it. It's amazing.
Now my car needs to be painted. I got a bad paint job from where I bought it, and I need to repaint it like in some
funky way.
Yeah, that would be fun.
So,
Deck it out
Hey,
in beach
Jackie,
talk
there's a
radio.
project.
yes. Yeah, Jilly will love that when you do that. Yeah. One time we owned a fitness center. We were going to put
Oh,
the
boy.
decals all over the truck, and she was like mortified. Our daughter was mortified that, oh no, I'm not getting in that minivan if you put those things on the side.
His face on the side of it.
But I digress. So, Carla, you've been there for 14 years, but you had locations in other areas, right?
Well, this is our 3rd location. We started out beside Chapel by the Sea until they decided to tear our unique and different building down. That broke my heart.
Oh.
It was so we had parking, we had all kinds of outdoor space. The building was old and unique and couldn't get the air conditioning under 82 in the summertime.
Yeah,
it
you
had
missed
holes. Yeah.
Well, what's there
And then
now? What do they put up?
It is a parking lot.
Oh, well, that's a
Yeah.
bummer.
Yeah, it's a bummer. Then we moved down by Tops for a year, and that was horrible. And now we are back where we are. We've been there 7 years, and it might be tiny, but boy, I can sure cram a bunch of stuff in a small space.
Oh, yeah. I think that place is cute.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't ever say that word, but I did. It's got 2 floors too, right? Your husband was hiding upstairs when I was there the last time.
Yes, I let him camp out up there, and he works on his real estate. And then if I'm out doing something, he kind of oversees the store for me. If somebody comes in, he can take care of it.
Oh, so you make him for some reason?
Oh, well, yeah, I do. Yeah, that's his bad boy
Sometimes.
room. Yeah.
Cool.
He hides up there. He just hides up there.
So
it works out.
What do you two think about these boat races coming up? You're going to see some action at both places, and hopefully these people deliver some dineros next week, right?
We could use some dineros, right, Jackie?
We could definitely use some dineros. I think the whole island's going to reap a lot of benefits from this. I really hope so, the way they promoted
really
this.
do. And we're right across from Ground Zero with it being a Diamond Head.
Yeah.
So we should see all those people. And, they need to get off the beach and come over and have a drink and a burger at Jackie's and come shop at my shop. And then we'll be very appreciative of them bringing this back to us once again.
Right. It's been a few years, right, Jackie?
Been a few years.
Yeah. So are you going to have something special for the boat races up there,
Well,
Jackie?
we will
What's
have
cool?
our
But before you say that, what's cool about your place is you're like one of the few places that has it's like a Nashville thing. You can look down from the top and look at all the crazies riding by and walking by.
People love to sit up on the deck and just watch the world go by.
Right.
You never
People
know
watch.
what you're going to see.
Right. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably see 12, 14 homeless people at one shot standing up by your spot there. Yeah, laying on the sidewalk and on the benches. We had a homeless
situation. That's without binoculars, too.
Right, right.
No need for binoculars. We had one dancing by the bar the other night. Or swinging punches.
Swinging punches at the bar?
No, in the air.
Okay. Yeah, we had one this morning. I'll tell everybody about later on in the show, so you want to stick around for that. So you were going to say, before I rudely interrupted you.
Our new menu comes out during the Roar, so I'm real excited. There's a lot of new menus, a lot of new items on there, a lot of the old favorites. We've expanded a lot of the favorites, so we're really, really excited.
I see you have build your own taco on there.
Yeah,
is that the new menu right there?
Build a burger, build a chicken, a little pirate section.
People on the Facebook can see it, but on the radio they can't. They got a brand new menu. It's like gigantic.
It's huge.
Wow.
Really expanded the appetizers.
Who's in the back cooking all that stuff?
Myself, Blake Bowen, and Cookie.
Is he the chef?
He's one of my chefs.
Awesome.
He's amazing.
Excellent.
Now I see you proudly serve Sun King Brewery.
That is an Indianapolis brewery.
Okay.
And it's one of the only Indiana beers that's imported to Florida. So we are so excited to serve it.
How do you get Indianapolis beer in Florida?
Through a beer distributor.
Okay.
Believe it or not.
Is that a dumb question?
It kind of.
I'm sorry.
I mean, I could go back and fill up a truck and bring it down here and sell it. It'd be great, but
That'd be
I'd
a
go
pain
to
in the
jail.
ass, though. Yeah.
They have a great logo.
Don't they have a great logo?
They have a great logo, and we have a couple of their T-shirts, which I think we got when we were at your place.
For the Brown Emoji Show.
Yeah.
So we were talking before we went on the show, on the air, about the shit show that you have. I'm going to have to put E on this one, dear, when we get home for explicit. But are you bringing back...
I think Heidi and Bruiser are going to come back and do it.
Heidi and Bruiser. What about Dan and Bruiser?
Dan is a fill-in. He comes in and helps out, and Dan the man comes in.
Dan, you're only a fill-in, Dan. That's I didn't know that. Dan the man,
when he's available, definitely comes in.
I thought it was because he was running for office. He didn't want to be part of a shit show. If he's elected, he's probably... never mind.
He's all about that.
Yeah.
He's all about that.
So we have the new menu. We have the Roar Offshore coming up, and anything else going on at your place? Like, do you have the football games every Sunday?
Colts game Sunday night. We're really excited about.
Who are they playing?
Kansas City Chargers.
I'm amazed that the Colts are doing so well.
No, it's Kansas City Chiefs. I said that
Kansas
wrong.
City Chargers. That doesn't matter.
Nobody's
listening. Nobody's listening
I did that
anyway.
with the Chargers last year.
Colts are doing okay. We lost our quarterback.
Yeah.
We got a new one. So I mean, I'm kind of surprised. So
When your quarterback retired at the start, like 2 weeks before the season started, did you look at the TV when the report came on and said, "You sissy Mary"? What'd you say?
No, I didn't say that.
What'd you say? It's going to say, nice. Did you mean that like, oh, darn, our team's going to stink, or I can't believe you did that, you SOB?
I think it was both.
Yeah.
I think it was both. It was a shock.
Listen, if I made $5 million or $10 million at this show, damn well I'm not going on next week. I'm selling all the equipment.
I'm done.
Oh,
I mean,
I
who
don't
cares?
believe you.
No, seriously, when you have that kind of money, why would you put your body through that kind of abuse?
I mean, I understand why he did it.
Yeah.
I mean, I do. I mean, I'd stub a toe when I'm crying for a week.
Yeah, so is she. She's such a sissy, man.
Well, it messes up your pedicure. It's horrible.
Please.
I know.
You
we
need
haven't
to get that
I
done.
know. We know. I know.
Oh, you
bring it
haven't
up.
done that yet?
No, I got other stuff that came up. I went down to.
Yeah, sure.
I know. I'm making excuses. I do need to organize that.
Yes, you do.
There was like, I was surprised. I'm going to put that up there. And nobody's going to respond. And it was like all of a sudden 30 guys wanted to get a pedicure. I was like, how the hell are we going to do
relaxing.
that? And then some of them said, I've had it done before. And I was like, oh, boy, I don't want to sit next to him.
My house, you get wine. I mean, I love it.
Oh, I've seen those places.
Yeah.
I don't.
I heard some nasty things about pedicures too, like disease and things that can go wrong.
Go to a clean,
and
reputable shop.
Yeah.
And you'll be fine.
And you got to keep your feet clean.
how do you know a reputable shop compared to like a underground pedicure place where it's on the black market and they're
I don't know about those places, but I'm sure they're out there and they have.
Carla, we don't mean to leave you out of the conversation about the pedicure.
Sure.
How are your feet doing?
They need a pedicure.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you could join them.
No, it's a guy thing. It's because we're gonna be throwing curse words around and talking sports and all that.
Oh,
and, yeah, complaining about
I can't do that.
complaining
these
about our
guys
wives.
are hanging with you guys.
We're not going to be
Please.
talking Big
They'll put you
Ten.
to shame.
There's Bill Green. He can't wait to get his feet cleaned.
Hey, you haven't hung with Jackie.
Once we did, but it was so busy that day during the Sunday we were there. All right. So what else? What else is going on, Jackie? What do you think about the town council and all that stuff going on, and how the town is growing? And I mean, I asked that question because I was lucky enough to interview AJ Barrett last week. She invited me to her house, and she's 85 years old. She's the curator at the Historical Society, and she has a memory like, I mean, I was just talking to Bill before, and I couldn't remember what he told me when he came down last year. She remembers things when she was 6 years old. She was telling me stories about the beach before the war and how her family was down here before the war, and it was an incredible time to just be able to spend with somebody who knows the history, not back to the Indian days. We don't have
that many people on the beach that has lived
I
here
know.
their entire lives.
I know, it's crazy the great stories that she tells, and I ask her how what she thinks about it now, and I understand how she feels about it being different back then and liking it better back then. I get that, but when she has to live on a street where I don't think she's a complainer, but she lives on a street where the neighbors have parties at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning because it's so transient, and there's they're renting the house out. And I just think like that,
she needs to call.
The government should put a cocoon around her. I mean, she should not have to deal with that because she's just like,
I wouldn't want to deal with it.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't even know what my question was, but I think it was, what do you think of all the growth?
You've had too much Monster today.
I'm loving it. I'm excited about Margaritaville. I think that all the businesses on the beach are going to reap a lot of benefits from them. I've always been a huge supporter of that. I think Anita is a great ambassador for Fort Myers Beach. She's level-headed. She really gets the information out. She's accessible. So I'm pleased so far.
Carla, what do you think?
We are so ready for Margaritaville. Our town needs it down there. When you first hit the top of the bridge, you want to see something beautiful.
Right.
And when he gets done with it, it's going to be a showstopper, and everyone's going to benefit. And I mean, you can't spend all your time at Margaritaville to be walking all over the beach.
Right.
And hopefully this will encourage other businesses to spruce up their businesses and their homes. And, let's make Fort Myers Beach shine again. It might not be the little beach town that people want it to be, but it could be the new funky beach town that it should be.
AJ was telling me about the drawbridge. When they had the drawbridge, that they had to, the traffic would back up because one boat would, every half hour or something. Do you know, here's a trivia question for anyone out there. Do you know how much it cost to come over that bridge back then? Do you remember what it was? Does anybody
50
know?
cents.
Was it 50 cents?
She does. She's taking a guess.
Oh, I don't even remember.
Oh, well,
what she said. No.
Yeah. I haven't put her on yet. It's going to be a whole different podcast. But if anybody knows what that I'm not going to say what it is. I want to watch the Facebook.
Was I close?
I'm not going to answer that, dear. I want the listeners to be involved in the show. There's got to be interaction. It can't just be me and you all the time.
It's really just you today.
Are you rolling your eyes at him again?
Yes.
So
that's
Carla,
why I wear the glasses.
Carla, tell us about one or two of like the coolest things that you have. If a new person coming down to Fort Myers Beach over the next few months that's coming down from wherever they're coming from, were to go into your shop, what is like the coolest one or two things?
What are your biggest sellers?
That's different.
Oh,
shut up.
Yeah, that's very different. But when you walk in my shop, it's just a burst of color, and you really don't know where to focus when you first walk in because it's so colorful. But I have so many new artists, and when you look on the wall and see these unique and fun things, that's, I think, is probably my forte, is the new artists and the new uniqueness. They are just truly one of a kind. And of course we have the dog who greets you. So, he's the show. Everybody comes in to see him.
Your dog.
My dog.
Yeah.
Yes.
And your dog is blind.
Right. He's blind, but don't tell him, okay?
He doesn't know.
He doesn't know. He does not know. But we are just eclectic and unique, and it's something you can't find on Amazon or go anywhere else to find it. It's one of a kind, and that's what I strive to do, because I don't want to sell things from China, and I don't want to sell things you can find on Amazon. But, and I have so many people coming in to get the Dixie Belle chalk paint. So that is a huge benefit for me, too.
The what?
The chalk paint.
The Dixie Belle chalk paint, yeah. The one that your wife's going to learn how to use properly.
That's right.
Right.
I'm in her store daily.
Yeah.
We like to torture each other. And
Yes,
I see something new every time I'm in there, and she's like, it's been there for 6 months, Jackie. didn't see it.
I know.
There's so much
You
to
can.
see.
It's one of those places that you could kind of walk around, and the next time you're in there, it's like, ooh, I didn't see that when I was walking around.
Got to look up, look down, look around.
So
I tell you what, Jackie and I are fierce together. So we promote our businesses for each other, and we promote our little plaza. So
very nice, very nice. Now there's some other businesses in that little building. It's not
We
a
have
little
a dog
building,
groomer, a scooter shop, and another
tattoo shop.
Tattoo shop. They've been there 16 years, 14 years.
That doesn't seem to go.
No, they have, I think, longer than that.
Good neighbors. They're
good.
Everybody, they are wonderful. Everybody thinks my shop is a tattoo door. So I get a lot of
because their doors are right there.
So how much does a tattoo go for? I mean, how do you stay in business during the slow
I think
times?
the minimum just for them to even start is $60.
$60 just to get
for a little tiny thing.
Okay.
Just to come.
One of my customers had one yesterday. It was $300, and it didn't look amazing. I mean, it's a beautiful tattoo, but it looked like it was that in detail. But she goes next door and then comes and sees me. But she had a $300 tattoo on her arm. So
wow.
you know,
What was it?
they're not cheap.
What was it? Would you get a tattoo, Carla, of Beach Talk Radio on your shoulder or anything like that?
No, thank you very much.
Oh, okay. Oh,
What
that's a
about
bummer.
you? Why don't you do
I don't know,
that?
because I don't think the show's going to last forever. And then what the hell do I do? I mean, it's not like you can.
Is that why you didn't put my name on your arm?
No, I'm
'Cause
not
you
a
didn't think
tattoo.
this
You don't
was
wanna
gonna
go
last
there.
forever. Don't
Not-
go there.
Not a tattoo person.
Yeah,
If I
me
came
either.
home with a tattoo, what would you say? I mean, you think I went over the edge,
No,
right?
as long as it wasn't on your face.
Like Mike Tyson?
Right. Yeah, that would not.
Do you think Mike Tyson thinks he wishes he could get them off his face?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't.
He probably didn't even notice them.
I don't.
Yeah.
I think
I
he's
interviewed
like,
Mike
whatever.
Tyson a couple weeks
Yeah,
ago.
I know.
It was the worst
a
interview I've ever
short
had.
Interview.
Yeah. Terrible.
Wow.
Terrible. So, Jackie, what else you want to talk about as far as the community goes that people might not know about? Like, you guys feel like you're in a different world down there because it's like a half mile away.
Oh, it does feel like a different world sometimes. It does. It definitely does.
Now we're the
Everybody
redhead
comes to Times
stepchildren.
Square. What? Yeah, we're stepchildren.
And they're getting this whole place redone over here. I do have to say that they're redoing the sidewalk on the way down, which is nice. I mean, that's part of the.
Oh, the new sidewalks are great down by us for sure.
You all have new sidewalks down there too. What's going on with the leaky tiki down? That's close to you too, right?
That's close to us.
Yeah.
You know, it just drives more business. The more businesses
Right.
are closer to us, it just drives more business our
What
way.
AJ said to me, she goes, AJ Bassett, she said, every place is a bar now. I mean, it seems like all the hotels back then, like the Commodore and some of the really old hotels are, I don't even know if those buildings are there. Do you know that I'm giving away the whole podcast, which is
Good
terrible,
Lord.
but she lives in the same exact house right now as she did when she first came down here.
Wow.
It's been moved 2 other times. They moved it from the beach to a different road, and now it's on, I'm not going to say what road it's on, but it's the same house. It's
They
a
just
cute little
picked it
house.
up and
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. And did you
House on
know?
wheels.
I'm not gonna. I can't keep giving it away. So
All right.
that's it.
That dog is cute.
Yes, I think that is our next. That could be our next guest right there. By the way, so
Mascot.
Oh my
yes,
God,
so
super
because Isabelle is coming on at 9:30 from Find a Home, Give a Home, and if that's not her, then I'm a little worried about what's going on. So
Do you have any pets?
I have 3 cats.
oh,
I have
yucky.
a 30
Well, he's a-
30 pound tuxedo.
30 pounds.
30
How the hell does that
pound,
thing move around?
He doesn't look fat. He's just very big boned. Wouldn't you say, Blake? He's seen my cat. He wants it. It's got the extra digit.
If a girl
it's a
said,
Hemingway cat.
if a lady said she was big boned, what would you say?
I say that.
You don't say that. I've never
That
heard
is
you
a
say
cat
that.
that is not going up the proverbial rope like he couldn't make up either. I mean,
it
that's-
has this tree. It's
You
he's
feed the cat
lightning-
pasta?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. And then I have another cat that's a real grumpy cat, Kramer, and we call him a bad name, a-hole, because he has
Nice.
a bad attitude, but we love him. He's 14 years old, and I just got a little kitten, and its
Aw.
name's Izzy, and because we don't, is it a boy or is it a girl? It's hard to tell
Oh.
at this point.
Really?
And we think we're going to change it to Lucifer. It's
Okay.
just hell on wheels.
Nice.
Nice.
All righty. So I think we did we cover everything, Carla, or is there anything? By the way, thank you. Carla is going to be our new sponsor for Facebook. She's sponsoring the Facebook Live of a part of the show. So we thank you very much for that. And we just can't get. I mean, people. We don't have enough room for all the sponsors that want to be on the show. So thank you so much, Carla.
Well, thank you, and thanks for calling me and putting me on today. I'm sorry I was in Key Largo.
Oh, that's a
Yeah,
shame.
right.
Yeah. So what are you doing today, Carla? You going out boating?
I don't know. We'll probably head down to Robbie's and have a couple cocktails and I don't know.
I
It's
love
just a lazy-
Robbie's. I love
I do
Robbie's.
too.
Yes. Oh,
Yep.
Oh, please.
you got to
Yeah.
get one of those frou-frou umbrella drinks from Robbie's. It's just
No,
outstanding.
they're Bloody Marys.
Oh, okay.
Those
I've never
you,
been to
you
Robbie's.
drink those
They're-
for
I've never had a
They're-
frou-frou
they're-
drink in my life. I do
They're
put
a-
oranges in
they're
my beer.
lunch.
Their lunch.
Yeah,
All
they're a
right.
lunch.
All right.
Yeah, they are.
Well, Carly, you
Well,
enjoy.
guys, thank you.
You enjoy
Thank
your day and have a
you.
great weekend. And thank you for coming on. And we will see you next weekend for the boat races.
We'll be there.
All
The
righty.
bell's on.
See you,
Okay.
girly.
Jackie,
Bye bye.
thank you for
Bye.
coming
Thank you so
on.
much.
We'll see you down at Hoosiers.
Yeah, come on down, check out the
Yes.
menu.
Yes. All right. So,
Thank
dear, while you
Thank
do your
you.
thing and finding our next guest, I'm going to pay a little bill right here. So, we want to remind everybody, speaking of the boat races, I do have to, I'll like to come back. Shuckers and the Cottage Bar, proud sponsors of the Roar Offshore National Championship Powerboat Races on Saturday, October the 12th. That's coming up next weekend at 11 o'clock. Situated right on the front straightaway, Shuckers and the Cottage will have the closest VIP viewing areas in the fastest part of the track for the Roar Offshore Powerboat Races. We love it down there. We love it here. We love it there. They will be the best view. They'll have the best view for all the action in the soon-to-be famous Lefty 5, an unprecedented left-hand turn on the outside of the race course straight away from Shuckers and the Cottage. Their VIP seating is sold out, but open seating will be available at the Cottage at all ages and the Beach Bar, 21 and up. The Cottage and the Beach Bar will be serving breakfast on race day, 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock. Wow, 1 hour breakfast. Maybe I have that wrong. 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock. So if you want breakfast, you better get your ass down there nice and early. And maybe it's a little longer than that, but it says 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock. So we hope to see you there for the Roar Offshore races. They also have football on Sundays. You can have the football package. So we want to say, come on down to Shuckers and the Cottage Bar. We love Bob and Stacy.
Sorry, but I think I just stepped in front of the camera for quite a bit of time. Sorry about
Nobody
that.
wants to watch me while I'm reading an
nobody
ad
wants
anyway.
to look at my back.
So
either.
listen, before we introduce our next fabulous guest on
Okay.
the show, I want to make sure that I correct myself from last week. I got yelled at. We got called to the Cottage on the water because I said something I shouldn't have said last week, and I got hit with 30 wet noodles. What was I going to say now?
And that's what
Wait,
happens when
wait.
you drink too many energy drinks right there, folks.
I know what it was. I said that our longest sponsor was FMB Designs, right? Did I say that last week?
I don't know.
Yeah, I
don't know
said
what
they
you
were
got
our
going
longest
on
sponsor.
here.
Well, everybody knows that
It's-
Pete's Timeout is our
right.
longest sponsor. So John got on the bat phone and called us up to his little house on the lake and told me that I was wrong about that and I needed
Hey.
to correct it.
It's a beautiful house, and it's not on a lake. It's on the Caloosahatchee River. You
Okay,
ding
whatever. It
dong.
was water.
They have chandeliers
Oh,
in
he's-
their
Who
backyard.
knew that John was a chandelier freak? There's 11
Those
chandeliers.
are amazing.
And what's cool about them is they light up at night.
Oh,
They're solar. And then after, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, they go out. It's pretty
amazing.
cool.
Thank you to them for having us out.
Yes. Yes.
was
And the way
awesome.
you acted after, they're never going to invite us back. Well, by the way, on the way up there, we stopped at
it.
Sir Pizza to
Mhm.
see Chris and his crew.
And get food
And we had some awesome pizza that we brought up.
and some amazing wings.
Yes. I didn't have any wings
You did
until the next day.
Oh,
Because
they
I
were
had
so
I had
good.
some chicken before we ordered the pizza and it was too close. You have to have a certain separation of time before meals, and I couldn't have the pizza because
Not
it was
me.
too close to the chicken. So I had the wings the next
the
day.
pizza was really good. And the
Pizza
wings
was good.
were not like those little tiny things you get some places. These
Right.
were like
And the beer was kind of warm.
beefy wings.
The beer was kind of warm, but that's just the way it goes.
Well, that
But
was
it
your
wasn't from
fault.
it wasn't from Sir Pizza. It was
No.
it was a nice hot day out there. I'm kidding, John. It wasn't warm. It was fine. Everything was lovely.
It was
They
a
have a
beautiful
beautiful
breeze.
house.
Mhm.
Yes, and they have 2 cool dogs, and we'll get to the dogs in just a second. There was something else that I wanted to mention, and I forgot what it was. So if you heard the sounder at the beginning of the
Good
show, if you
Lord.
didn't hear the sounder at the beginning of the show, we will play it one more time when we're done with our guest and give you a chance to call in on the Beach Talk Radio hotline and win your choice of a shirt or
Your
a hat.
choice.
Choice of a shirt or a hat. And that's coming up at 9:50-ish. So stay tuned to your radio, ladies and gentlemen. Get close to your radio, nice and close to that Motorola radio. All right.
Weirdo.
And now back to the show. Our second guest is hailing from Fort Myers, Florida. Where are you from, Isabelle?
Fort Myers Beach.
She's from Fort Myers Beach, Florida, and
I live right here.
she lives right here. And the name
And
of
she brought Lou.
and the name of her business, nothing goes better than kids and pets. And we have to make sure that the camera is perfectly situated. Oh, there we go. Less of me and more of Lou.
Oh, that's me.
Find a home, give a home. Isabelle Wells. Isabelle, I've been trying for 6 months to get you on the show. Thank you for coming on.
You're welcome.
Everybody says that your business is so awesome. Tell us all about it.
Well, it's a it's a 501c3, a nonprofit. So that's what the big deal is. So it's a rescue group that I founded about 2011. And we do rescue dogs, only shelter dogs.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this is a shelter dog from the beginning. She is, her name is Lulu, and she follows me everywhere. So we do get, we pull from different shelters, including Miami, Fort Myers, Tampa, and we do like extreme cases, like dogs who got hit by cars, or, you know, so we work with veterinarian and everything. So it's a very rewarding. So we've been doing this since 2011.
And you do cats too?
I do cats too. I have somebody else who does the cat.
Okay.
And the cats more likely comes from Fort Myers Beach. There's plenty of cats around here. So they all need help too. And we all need volunteers too, of course.
And it's an all volunteer.
It's all volunteers. Of course, the veterinarian are not volunteers.
No.
But they give us a little break so we can put them through, you know, a lot of, everything is ready for adoption and everything.
So they get spayed or neutered.
Spayed, neutered. Well, at the shelter, they get spayed and neutered and vaccinated. But we give them heartworm prevention, which is very important here. All the dogs should have heartworm prevention because that's a disease. And after that, they're ready for adoption. And, you know, we just place them in great families.
How many dogs do you have at once?
Probably about, I would say 15 at once. Not in my house. I got 5 in my house right now.
5.
5.
That's
3
plenty.
that I have and 2 that I foster.
So when you say you have 3 are your own?
Yes,
Okay.
correct.
So what kind of dogs are the 2 that you have up for adoption now?
For adoption, I've got a little guy. His name is Ren, and you can all visit them online. Of course, they have little videos on findahomegivahome.com, and then they're in the paper every week as well, in the Beach Bulletin. So you can see all the pictures. So the little guy is about 7 years old. Needs to go with another dog because he's, you know, kind of a little scared. Very nice, very, very nice dog. And he's about 20 pounds. And then I've got another one, which is 6.4 pounds. A little bitty thing. And she's just started to bark. You know, that's really a funny thing when you have a dog for about a week and they don't know where to go. And then suddenly with the other one with a pack, they all bark. You know, that's cute.
Tell us about this dog.
This dog? Well, she's not for adoption.
Oh,
she's
okay.
my mascot.
All right.
Okay. Her name is Lou. And if you go anywhere and if you see me on the paper, you know, she will be she's on my business card. She's everywhere with me. And I got her from a shelter in Collier County. And she was 3 months old, returned twice. And yeah,
Really?
3 months old. Yeah, because she's a barker.
Okay.
And actually, she got out of it.
By the
She's just
yes, we
great.
haven't heard one thing.
No,
one
no,
peep.
she doesn't know. Well, you know, it's like everything else. If you get them everywhere, you socialize them, you bring them to places, they're wonderful to go with. You know, they have no issues.
What kind of dog is that?
That's what I call a 57.
Oh, okay. Okay. So it is a
That's
mix.
a new version.
Yes.
But
yes.
I did a
Times
DNA.
57.
Okay.
When I did a DNA,
Yeah.
she was mixed with Yorkie, Maltese, and African dog.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so she's
she
4
is
years old.
Adorable.
Yeah, she's
What
she's
dog
great.
isn't, dear? What dog?
I
Do you ever
know,
get
but
any
she's
bulldogs?
I got bulldogs. Yeah,
Yeah.
once in a while I got bulldogs.
What about labs?
Labs, yeah.
Yeah.
I got a couple of labs before. But you know, we're not breed
Right.
specific.
Right.
Right.
We just only take the ones that cannot make it in the shelter. Have you been in a shelter before?
Which one? Which
Any
shelter?
shelters?
Yeah.
We've gone
Oh,
to
yeah.
Go to
shelters.
shelters?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. It's, some people don't want to go to a shelter. It's very difficult to
Yeah.
walk in because you want to take them off.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
And it's very sad.
Jennifer Washburn. Mhm.
Yeah. So we go in the back of the shelter where they have the stray, and then they email us about 20 or 30 emails a day. And they said, this one is in trouble because he's very scared. And so we go see them and we take them, and then we rehabilitate them.
Mhm.
And just by the fact to bring them out of the shelter, they just change completely, their demeanor is completely different.
So
It's
you get the
wonderful.
dogs, and then you find a foster home, and then the foster,
Yes,
and then you
correct.
try and move them into a regular home.
That's it. We post them, we put them everywhere. And of course, there's an adoption fee, which is important.
Yeah.
And then that's what we do.
Why did you decide you wanted to do this?
I didn't want to be a vet, so I ended up to be a real estate agent. But I always wanted to do something with animals. And then about 2010, in my neighborhood, we started to get stray cats. And I thought, why don't I just put a little thing on my website about the cats that needs to be adopted. And then from there, it went through a website and then go on and on. And, I don't think I would be able to do it by myself. But if you have volunteers and people helping with transport, with fosters and everything, it's really a teamwork.
Right.
And that's what helps a lot.
And you get donations. People
I get donations. I do a lot with the adoption fee, of course. But the donation is very important to us. So we would not be able to do what we do.
Anybody watching or listening can go to Find a Home.
FindAHomeGiveAHome.com. They can also make a contribution on P.O. Box 163 on Fort Myers Beach, 33931. And then they can always call me directly at 239-281-0739.
Now on your website, is it a PayPal button?
It's a PayPal, but when, I don't know, do you know a lot about PayPal?
Mhm.
Okay. So PayPal, you have two options. You can either friends and family, and then you don't have a fee, or you do the normal PayPal. So make sure you do friends and family.
This way you don't get charged a fee.
You don't get charged.
Okay.
That's very important for us.
So go ahead.
And then,
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say we have some events coming up too.
cool.
Yeah, for Halloween. So
Tell us about them.
well, after a while, so many years, I get phone calls for invitation. I'm very excited about being with you today.
Oh, we're
it's
so
very
glad to
nice.
have
It was
you.
actually an honor
Oh.
to be a.
That's
Yeah,
being
no.
silly. You're being silly
Well,
now, but thank
no,
you.
no,
That's
no,
silly.
because it's very rarely you got somebody who calls you and asks you. Now I'm starting to get people following us more and more with the paper.
Great.
So it's very nice. Believe me, it's not being silly. It's
Oh,
just
we'll push
very
you.
from
We'll
the
push
well.
it out a lot now,
Yeah,
for
'cause
sure.
I,
for sure.
that was very nice of you, and it's my home here
Yeah.
too, so it's great.
What is your accent?
From
That's what I
France.
was going to ask.
Sorry, we should prepare
Definitely
before the
French.
show so we don't ask.
Definitely
You
French.
didn't know?
I knew. He didn't.
You knew? Okay,
Yeah.
I'm from France. Yeah, I'm
Excellent.
from Paris.
What brought you to Fort Myers? Who would leave Paris for Fort Myers, Florida?
Well, it's just a coincidence. My mom was a taxi driver in Paris, and then when I was 24, she met a lady from Boca Raton on the other coast,
Mhm.
and the lady said, "If you want to come to my house, if Dodo wants to come to my house, she's welcome." So I took a ticket and I just
Wow.
came. I
Wow.
didn't know anybody. I just took the.
Awesome.
And since then I've been working very hard. So, but I'm good. I'm happy.
Do
I'm
you
happy to be here. This is my home. So.
Well, I just want to ask her
go
about
right ahead? You don't need
the
approval to ask a
event.
question.
So are you doing like a dog dress up thing for Halloween?
Yeah, there's two events. And I got to read it because
Okay.
I'm not, it's for the dates. That's
I get it.
Just for the dates. So there is one actually on at the Naughty Parrot,
Okay.
which is October 26th from 2 to 5 p.m. We did it last year. I think it's last year or 2 years ago. It's all run together now. And, they do a special drink for us, which is very exciting. And part of it goes to the rescue. And then we do also a raffle, and they're going to have a doggy contest, Halloween contest. So that's one of them. That's on the 26th. And then we're having Nervous Nelly, too, who invited us again. So that is going to be on the 29th from 6 to 9 p.m.
Oh,
so that's at night. So that's going to be a fun
dress
place
up
to
your dogs.
Dress up. There's going to be a lot of activity in both of them. And it's a nice, it's a nice thing. And I'm very appreciative of all the people who invite us.
What percentage, if not all, hopefully you'll say all, of the dogs get adopted? Do they all get adopted? That you have?
Some of them, it takes a long time, because of, you need to find that right person. It's not about giving them to anybody. It's to give them to the right person so you don't get them back. So you have to find, the right match. And sometimes people are frustrated because they think, I want that dog, but that's not the right dog for them.
Right.
So you put them through the ringer. Then you make sure the dog doesn't go to the wrong person.
Well, that's that. And then also the fact that if you put them in a foster care, then you know everything about the dog.
Right.
The foster will tell you at what time they get up, what they do, what their stuff is, and that makes it easier for you when you adopt. Because when you get from a shelter, and please go to a shelter, okay?
Yeah.
So that's the best thing. But you never know if they're house trained, what they do, and we do the whole work before, so we know exactly what's going on with the dog.
And this is no shot against any shelter. They're doing great work. But
they have
when
to.
I look at the pictures sometimes on some of the shelters, and I think, well, that looks like a lab. Oh wait, and then you get to the shelter, and which is torture to go to a shelter to see them all caged like that.
Very, very
And
sad. But
well,
unfortunately, I got to tell you, people don't do their part. They're doing a lot of there's a lot of backyard breeding.
Yep.
That is not good for for us, for everybody.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of dogs euthanized in shelters in general. So that is one of the problems. So
And
you've
that's
got
you
to spay and neuter.
Right.
Very important.
And you get your dogs all from the shelters, the kill
Correct.
shelters.
Oh yeah,
right?
kill shelter. I don't take them from people's house.
Okay.
No, I don't do.
So
That's what we do because the rewards is wonderful.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of people from here. On this beach who have been actually adopting. And then you see them on the road,
You
it's
get
just
to
so
see them.
fun. Yeah, it's so fun.
Well, I have a friend who she has a therapy clinic, but on the side she takes dogs in, and everybody that works in her clinic has adopted some of her dogs. I mean, she is out there, Jennifer, and she has, I think, and she's might correct me, but at least 7 at her house, and she fosters and puts them out.
And where is she?
She's in town.
Oh, in Fort Myers?
In Fort Myers.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, and she works with the Gulf Coast Humane Society.
That's
and
great. That's
yeah,
great.
she really,
And-
she's amazing. But she is a hard sell with those dogs. You cannot go, and she's always texting him.
I get 5 or 10 texts
Stop
every
it,
weekend
Jennifer.
because our lab passed away. It's got to be close to, I don't know, it's
3
been a while.
years.
And so I'm hoping to get another lab at some point, a chocolate lab, because they're great dogs. I mean, all dogs are great, but so she keeps texting me pictures.
They work behind my back
Yes.
and text.
Oh yeah, yeah.
There's a lot of stuff I do behind her
takes
back.
only one text, and then it just at the right moment,
Yeah.
and then you get hooked. Yeah, but listen, I always say to people, if I don't have what you want, I give phone numbers from other rescue. Just go and take a look. As long as they rescue,
Right.
I don't have a problem. There's enough dog in the world just to be able to, to live and everything.
Don't shop.
Don't
adopt.
shop. Adopt. That's very, very important.
Yep.
Do you have any labs on your roster at the moment?
No, I don't have any
Oh.
labs.
So what
I
are-
don't have it. But I pull from Miami, and in Miami there's a lot of dogs.
Really?
A lot of
Those damn people. in
And
Miami.
the funny thing,
Dog
just to give you an
haters.
example of what happened about a lab. I had a foster in Collier County, and she calls me one morning and she said, Isabelle, she had just finished a foster. She was going to the shelter in Collier County and domestic animal services. And she said in the parking lot, she saw a young girl with a father, and the lady was just like crying and crying. She was turning a 5-month-old lab, beautiful boy, and she could not keep him. And then she said, you know what? Don't go in. I'll call it. We'll just take him in the shelter and in the rescue. And the good thing about doing that is, when you go to a shelter, everybody can adopt. It doesn't mean they can take care of the dog.
Right. That's right.
Because the fee, and they have to do that. The fee is so cheap that people sometimes they have cleared the shelter. That's really bad.
Right.
I think that's very bad because anybody can just go over there, get a dog, and then as soon as there is a problem, return the dog.
Yeah.
Right.
So, it's good and bad.
Yeah.
You give a chance to dogs who would not have a chance. But, this is a tough one. This is a very tough one.
What are the kind of breeds that you have now available? I know people can go on the website.
Breed.
Okay.
They mix breed. Lots of Chihuahua in Florida.
Really?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
a lot of Chihuahua.
Who knew?
Yeah, that's, and they're fun. If you never had a Chihuahua, they're fun. They're just, you need to know the breed.
Mhm.
It's more like a girl dog, though, right?
No.
You sure?
No. Oh,
Yes.
Yeah. I've seen some big guys, muscle, anything, and you look at them and you said, "What?" And they got that little
Yeah,
teacup.
that's
little
exactly.
teacup.
What's the first thing you said,
But-
Isabelle? What? It looks
Well,
funny.
it looks different,
Right.
but that's okay.
Right.
It's okay. It doesn't have to be a big dog or whatever. It's it's just it's
I have
whatever works for you.
I have a bulldog.
You do not. Yeah. He has a bull. We have an English bulldog, but we also have a Maltese.
Yeah.
And that Maltese
the Maltese
follows
Got a
him all over. We got her at Lee Domestic.
Yeah, but you're not
Yeah.
catching
you
me.
did,
Yeah.
huh?
You're not catching me walking my dog, the Maltese, on the beach ever. You're never going to see me walking down Times Square
But
with
the bulldog,
Maltese.
yes?
Oh, yeah.
You have
Really?
to carry her.
Yeah.
I made a big mistake with the Maltese. I walked the Maltese from here all the way
No,
down to the
not the
pink shell.
Maltese.
I mean, the bulldog all the way down to the pink shell. And I thought, well, how far can that be?
Why did you make a mistake?
Because it was 90 degrees out. And on the way
Ah,
back,
yeah,
I thought she
yeah.
was going to die. The
Yeah.
tongue
Did you
hanging out.
carry her?
I
Yes,
did. I
it's
carried
not
her all the
good.
way back.
You carry her.
And I'm not that strong, so it was hard for me to carry her. So how else can people get in touch, or how else can people donate? I mean, lay it all out there, Isabelle.
Well, it's very easy. Oh, they have also in the Beach Bulletin every week for the past 9 years. We've been part of the Beach Bulletin. We have a whole page with all the dogs for adoption, and you have all the contacts. Everybody knows the Beach Bulletin. It's in the Beach Observer.
Oh, okay. The other
It's
paper.
part
Gotcha.
of the beach,
Gotcha.
So they're fantastic for us. So that's been a very, very good thing. And then you can go, of course, on the website, which is findahomegiveahome.com. And you can go to petfinder.com, rescueme.com, all the stuff that you can adopt a pet.
Well, listen,
So you have a
people,
lot of possibility.
if you're out there watching this show and you're just lazing around and you're not getting on the website and making some kind of donation, I'm really going to be pissed. You can't give $5 or $10 to help out these dogs. You are lame.
And please come out to the events.
Remind
Dress
me I
your
have to do
dog
that
up.
later because
Yeah,
I just call people
26
names.
and 29. They'll be in the paper. I'll put them
Okay.
in the paper. They'll be advertised. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Nice.
But we need, the big thing that we need is volunteers to feed the cats because we have an overpopulation of cats. And they're not feral cats. A lot of them are strays. People abandon them. So you can go on the website again and then just email us at pets@findahomegiveahome.com. And my cell phone, can I give my cell phone?
yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Okay, it's 239-281-0739.
Awesome.
So this is a passion for me.
Yeah.
And I just,
great.
it's just the best thing that could have happened.
And thank you for doing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on. And the Nervous Nellies thing is when again?
The
29th.
The 29th.
Okay, we'll put that up on our Facebook page.
Yeah,
so-
and
the
then
Naughty Parrot.
the Naughty Parrot on the 26th.
Cool. Awesome.
And then I want to thank you also for adopting.
Well, you're welcome.
That's very good.
yeah, thank
Very
you.
good.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for coming
Thank
on.
you,
and
Thank you.
Lulu.
Goodbye, Lulu.
Say goodbye.
Thank you.
Goodbye, Mama.
We'll make sure we get all those dates up there and everything for you folks out there so that you can get on the website. It's findahomegiveahome.com, and you can make a donation there to help out Isabelle and these dogs that need a place to live
And the cats.
and the cats.
Cats are very important.
Cats too. Well, thank you, Isabel.
Thank you.
Good luck with everything, and we'll see you maybe at the Naughty Parrot. That would be kind of cool to go down there.
Yeah,
and
or
see that
Nervous
there.
Nellies. Yeah.
All right, so
I know your sister would dress up Darla.
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah,
Or
yeah.
both.
All right, so what would the bulldog be dressed as? What would you dress a bulldog as?
I think she'd be a great sunflower with her face coming through and the.
You know, what was interesting, it has nothing to do with Fort Myers. Well, it kind of does, as we were talking about before the show started, that somebody that was walking by is being considered as a juror for this big, gigantic case going on,
And
the
that's
Seavers case.
all he could say.
Well, yeah, I mean, that has just taken over Fort Myers, and it seems like it's about time. I mean, it's one sheriff ago, and it seems like it happened so long ago, but that was interesting to hear the process that he or she is going through for consideration on the jury for that trial. And I can't imagine that there's a single person left in this area that has not at least heard of the case. And
well, there might be people that have moved here since it happened and weren't here when it happened, and there hasn't been a lot of.
It's always in the news, dear.
It
It's
is
always
not
in the
always in the news.
All right, so enough of that stuff that has nothing to do with Fort Myers Beach. So we got to do this contest now. All right, you ready, folks? We're going to play the sounder again. And here's the deal. If you can identify the voices in the sounder and be the first caller through to 239-247-3833, that's 239-247-3833. The first person to call through that can identify all the voices is going to win either a T-shirt or a hat. Are you ready, dear?
Here we go.
On 3, 2, 1, go.
Good morning, Mr. and Mrs.
That's an easy one.
America.
Everybody.
This is Beach Talk Radio.
Well, I'm the chief administrative officer for the town, which basically means
I'm in charge of all the day-to-day operations and take care of all our departments that provide services to the
residents and visitors here, businesses here at Fort Myers Beach.
You have stolen my dreams,
So weird.
my childhood, with your empty words.
Okay.
Beach
The reputation of Atlantic
Talk
is holding back this island.
Radio.
What you say we get out of here? I was getting angrier and angrier at the town's response this summer about the lack of response, really.
That makes no sense.
Shut up.
How dare you?
One of the things that I found very disturbing that happened was
Beach
they called an emergency meeting
Talk
and fired the town manager.
Radio.
And I think it was done in a very
Deceitful way. I couldn't forget that angel face. Sitting here with my long insulated underwear on. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Yeah.
The Fort Myers Beach Women's Club is not just for women.
I wear big fake boobs. So
You lost me somewhere.
The Burgess stole my sandwich.
Shut up.
0.95 millage rate is a 12.3% tax increase.
How dare you?
I cannot approve this increase
You have stolen my dreams.
based on this projected forward need.
People are suffering.
Could have gone to the
We're in
bathroom.
an excellent financial
could've.
position, and I do not believe we should be doing this.
And all you can talk about
I'll never
is
get
money
these minutes back.
and fairy tales of eternal economic growth.
Yeah.
Live from Peach Time Out in the heart of Times Square.
That guy's got a
You're
killer
listening
voice.
to Beach Talk Radio with Kim and Ed Ryan.
What did you think?
I like the last part.
You didn't like you didn't like the all that stuff, did you?
I mean,
Is it because it's too long or because I finagle
it's a
things
little
around?
long, and it's I don't know. There might just be too much finagling going on in there.
Like changing the voices.
yeah,
and things like
yeah.
that.
It might be a little too schizophrenic, but that's you.
Yeah.
I mean,
All right.
that's you.
Well, maybe I won't play it next week. Maybe we should do a
I
poll.
that didn't hurt your feelings.
Yeah, no, I mean, no, you didn't hurt my feelings. But if anybody knows who some of those people are and you want to give it a shot, we'd be happy to give away a T-shirt and hat so I don't have to carry them down to the table every weekend. It's getting to be a pain in the neck. So the Wednesday show, we need to talk about that real quick, was okay. I thought it was average or below average. 63% of the people who voted in our poll said to keep it going, and the rest said no. So what do you think?
Yeesh.
Well, there's a town council meeting on Monday, so I mean, I can't get enough of get my fix of the town council meeting.
I think you don't give me enough time to sort of prepare for a Wednesday meeting, and then you have all your stuff ready to go, and then we need better communication after 25 years.
You knew that we were doing a show on Wednesday. I told you over and over and over again.
Plans, because as I said that night, I have a life. outside of, I have work and I have a social life outside of you.
Mm-hmm.
And you just sit in that room like a hermit.
It took me a while to do that, by the way. That's a lot of work. I don't know
I
how
know
much
it's a lot of
time
work
and effort goes into something like that. It's a lot of work. Man, this breeze is nice down here. If
is
you're not on the
nice.
beach right now, beach is packed, by the way. It's nice to see that. If you're not on the beach right now, you're probably sitting in your house with the air conditioning on, and you can be getting a nice cool breeze.
The
How you
air
doing?
conditioning.
Where are you from, sir? Come on over. Oh, all right.
Listen, while we have a minute, I just want to give a shout out to my brother-in-law, Dr. Kevin Morley up in Virginia, who was appointed by President Trump to serve as a member of the National Infrastructure Advisory Council. Now, Kevin got his PhD in, I don't want to crucify this, but environmental studies, and he works in water and water quality and keeping drinking water safe and making sure that we're for emergency preparedness. So super, super proud of that for him, and it's well-deserved, and we wish him all the best luck.
That's as much as we're going to do national politics. You
Sorry.
said the word, the T word, and we're not going to get into that because when you talk about politics,
regardless of that,
congratulations,
it's a
Kevin.
great thing for Kevin, and he's worked really, really hard. He knows a ton about water and infrastructure and emergency preparedness, and I'm glad to have him up there.
Thank you for walking your bike through here.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for doing
You know
that.
what?
Only 2 people today.
When
that
I
walked
was
their bike
running,
through.
I mean, really, it's a gauntlet to try to get through when they're all there. And I did want to yell at them, get off your bike when you're.
Why didn't you yell at them?
I was so out of breath from running.
Stop it. You don't yell at anybody. That's the problem. You should have had Mr. Dunton as a gym teacher. Then it would have changed
Good
your life
Lord.
forever. So I did want to make sure we keep mentioning that the 10th of November is going to be a super special show here at Table 23. That's a Sunday. It'll be after the Saturday show. Sunday is after Saturday, and we're going to have 5 veterans from 3 different wars to talk about their time serving in Vietnam, Afghanistan, and Iraq, and it's going to be really cool. And so what we're going to do is set up my Venmo account will be available between Saturday and the end of breakfast Sunday if you want to help pay for their breakfast, because there's no way those guys are paying for their breakfast. And it is guys this time. I was not able to find a female. I don't know if there
well,
is
if
one
you know,
locally.
if anybody knows of
Yes, we'd love to have
someone,
a female
would love
on
to
that
have her on.
show. That's going to be from 9 to 10 next Sunday, the day
Not
before.
next.
No, not in November. Next Sunday's Boat Races Day is going to be November the 10th. The day before Veterans Day. And don't forget, of course, the boat races are next week. Make sure you plan appropriately, and that means parking and traffic is going to be a bit of a hassle if you wait until the last minute. So you want to make sure that you leave early, find a place to park, or take like they have buses.
Trolley?
Go on their website and find out where the trolleys are going to be.
Come down early. Have something to eat at Hoosiers. Go to Carla's place. Get some stuff. My mom loves that vivid colored bright, and her stuff is that. I mean, it is
Carla's stuff.
Yeah. My mom
really
loves
is a cool
that
place,
stuff.
and she's now our sponsor on the Facebook Live, so we want to thank her for that. Oh, did we get all the sponsors in? I hope I did. If not, I'll read it later.
I don't know what you were doing.
FMB Designs. You want to make sure you talk about Nikki.
I know.
Nikki's got a she shed. She bought a she shed, and she's redoing the she shed.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and so I kind of rode by their house on my bicycle this morning, and there it was sitting in the driveway. And
I don't think I would love to have one, but I think where we live, the HOA would be like, no.
Yeah, we have a nice HOA, but that might be crossing the line.
So we couldn't even put a fence up.
Nikki said she got another client from our show, which was very nice.
Thanks everybody for supporting the businesses that come on the show.
For sure.
And supporting us.
And if you need something redone in your house, in your bathroom, in your living room, you should really check out the pictures on their website. They do great stuff. And even though Nikki came by our house, she did not give Kim advice on how to paint the table. And that's why it turned out the way it did.
She gave me advice. I have a hard time following No, I don't have any skill. I have to go to one of those classes.
Okay. Yeah.
Or 2 or 5.
And don't forget, stop by Shuckers and the Cottage throughout the boat races. You lost out on the VIPs, but we're going to be there on Saturday. They sold them out.
Nice.
Sold them out, which is nice. The VIPs are sold out, but they're still going to have seating for you to see Turn 5 during the boat races. And we'll be there in the afternoon broadcasting after our regular show. And our first guest next week is going to be Pastor Ivan Corbin. We're going back and forth on Facebook Messenger, and I invited him on the show. And so he's going to be the first guest next week, next Saturday. And we don't know if we're doing a Wednesday show. It just depends on how the council holds their, whatever they do. If there's news on Monday, you'll hear it first on Wednesday night.
All right.
If we do a Wednesday show, will you be on time?
Maybe it should be bi-weekly or something.
Maybe that's a good idea. That's what I was thinking. Maybe not every single week.
Yeah, no.
And now we are 7 weeks away from the World's Toughest Mudder. We will not be on that Saturday. Is that the 16th?
15th, 16th.
15th or 16th. We will be in Atlanta, Georgia for the World's Toughest Mudder, which is a 24-hour obstacle course race. Did you get your plane ticket? No, not yet.
No, because I'm getting my car fixed.
Okay. At Pam's Automotive. All right.
That's a great place. They don't pay us for that, but I'm just
only
saying.
paid sponsors
You know
for
what?
now. We don't have enough room for everybody.
Jackie, I was talking about my car, and I said, well, it's got 117,000 miles on it. And the guy, John at Pam's, was like, really? That's not that much. And she's got a car with 250, and her husband's has 500. I swear to God, that's what she
Well, they
said.
probably don't have to drive very far around here, right? But how'd you get up that high? Did you buy it with that many miles on it? Wow. All right, everybody. We want to thank you all for tuning in. We had a big audience today. And remember, you can always support the show by going to beachtalkradio.com and making a donation or a contribution or a support via PayPal or being a Patreon anyway. Or you could just send a check to Kim and help her pay off her car. So
well, let me say that would be great, and we would be very appreciative of that. But if you have to decide between us or find a home, give a home, please go to them.
Right. And
Thank
feel
you.
free to comment about the show at any time. Just send them all to Kim if they're negative and all to me if they're positive. Bye-bye. We'll see you next week.